Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Kosas foundation. I am super excited to be testing this out because I'm a huge fan of the Kosas concealer. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into this, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how this applies on the skin all the way to how it looks at the end of the day. So you definitely don't wanna miss this. I'm gonna let you know if I think it's worth your cash or not. Just got out of the shower, so I'm ready to start my day with this new foundation. Okay, so let's talk about it. This is the new Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. It does contain SPF25. This is a medium coverage, natural, dreamy finish. That sounds very, very lovely. And this is supposed to be a clean, skin improving, medium coverage SPF25 foundation and treatment with hyaluronic acid. It contains niacinamide, peptide, squalene, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. It's a medium coverage, it's a natural finish, it's liquid formula, it is hydrating, it's good for dullness, uneven texture, and it is a clean brand at Sephora. It's also reef safe SPF, and we're just gonna be diving right into this. This one did retail for $42. I bought this on Sephora.com. It's so funny because I literally just got it in the mail yesterday, and then today they have it at my local Sephora. I'm like, of course they do. Of course. I kind of waited it out to try this foundation because I didn't know exactly what shade I would be. So I kind of kept like bouncing back, and finally I decided to go in with the shade Medium Neutral Warm 230. It's a medium with neutral warm undertones, and I'm hoping that this does work out for me, but we shall see. So I'm gonna go ahead really quickly and apply my primer. I'm gonna be using my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This will make sure everything stays on in place all day long. I've been loving this primer. And for moisturizer, I did use my e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Moisturizer with SPF 30. I needed to make sure that I got that SPF right. I personally like to still apply my own SPF, even when a foundation does have sunscreen. It's just part of like my routine. I'm just used to it. So I always do that. I would recommend it as well. I wouldn't just rely on a foundation to give you SPF. And then of course I would go in with like a makeup setting spray or an SPF setting spray through the day to retouch your SPF. So we have applied this primer. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take out the foundation. The packaging looks like this. Like I said, it looks very similar to the packaging of the concealer. I'm a huge fan of this concealer. It works very well, especially if you do have very dry under eyes or you like something that's very lightweight. This works very nicely. And let's see how this foundation does. I love the yellow packaging, the little lid. It matches my nail. My one nail. I went shorter with my nails this time and some smiley faces because I needed some positivity. And now we are going to just apply it on the back of the hand. It looks like this. It is a nice creamy consistency, which you guys can see. And I think it should work. It feels very, very lightweight. So let's go ahead, bring you guys in closer and apply it. So I'm gonna go right there. It is picking up yellow from what I see. One side with a sponge, and then the other side with a brush. Ooh, I think this color is perfect. For me, I'm always more so of a yellow undertone, so I was a little bit worried when I picked out the shade because it did have that warm in there, and sometimes things can look way too orange on me. I'm just like a true yellow undertone, but I also didn't want it to be too yellow because sometimes when it's too yellow, it can pick up green, and I didn't want to look green. So I'm like, let me just go for the neutral, warm one and see what happens. And so far, it looks pretty good. It's also blending in very, very nicely. I'm definitely getting a medium to fuller coverage consistency. You can still see a little bit of redness right here because I do have redness from my rosacea. It feels very lightweight. I've been really enjoying using my sponge over a brush because I feel like the sponge kind of gives more so of that skin-like finish. Sometimes a brush can give you a very foundation-y finish, and I like that this is giving me like that like natural skin result. I'm also gonna go ahead and apply it on the nose, on the sides of the nose. And also don't forget that this does contain the SPF, and I'm not seeing like a white cast or anything. I feel like brands have been doing a better job these past few years of when they come out with foundations, they really mimic the shade that they're going for, and they don't have too much of like that white cast. Because sometimes foundations can give you very much so like a white cast finish just with applying the foundation, and this is not. Look at that. I feel like this is gonna be like a perfect summer foundation. Wow. Okay, look at the difference between having the foundation on and not having anything on. All the imperfections are out. This looks really, really beautiful. So I'm gonna be taking my Real Techniques 200 brush, and I'm gonna be applying the foundation on this side with a brush, see how it does. And here we go. I like the formula. I feel like it's just very easy to use. Blends in very nicely. It's covering that redness, but still looking like skin. I would definitely say this formula is more so like medium to full rather than just like medium buildable. Wow, that is so pretty. And this shade is actually like spot on. So I would say if you want more full coverage immediately, definitely go in with a brush. If you want kind of more so of like a buildable consistency and you have full control over how you're customizing like what you're applying, then go with a sponge. The sponge will be your best friend. For me, I like to use a sponge on the nose just because I feel like on the nose, when you go in just with a brush, it can give you kind of like a separated effect because I do have texture on my nose from my rosacea, and my nose tends to be dry sometimes. So I like to just kind of press everything in further with a damp sponge to kind of add a little bit of moisture in there and make it set on the nose really nicely. It just gives it a very fresh effect. Definitely if you do have oily skin like myself, I forgot to mention that in case you're new to my channel, I do have oily combination skin. In the winter, it tends to be more so combination, very oily T-zone, dry cheeks. But in the spring and summer, I do start to get just all oily all around. And I feel like if you do have oily skin, you definitely will look at this and be like, okay, I need to set that. So I would say you probably would want to set it with a setting powder at the end once you're done your makeup. Now, there is a powder by Kosas. I never tried it, but it went viral. It's the Kosas Cloud Set Baked and Setting Powder. Because it looks really nice. It's talc free, it's like a setting powder, and it's supposed to be really nice on the skin. Just super soft sheer setting powder, and perhaps that would look really good on top if you do kind of want to give this like a soft matte finish but still look like your skin, because right now it is giving me some dew. Obviously if you do have dry skin, this is like heaven for you, but if you have oily skin, you may think, okay, this is what I look like on hour 5 of me wearing makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and give you guys my first initial thoughts on the new Kosas foundation, and then we can get our day started, see how this looks and where the day takes us. So keep watching. Okay guys, so I am back. I just finished my entire face of makeup, and this is what we are looking like right now. I've been so into like soft glam, just mascara on my lashes. I've actually been using the Grande Lash Serum so that I can grow them back to be healthier than ever before I go back to lash extensions in a little bit. It's just taking a little mini break, but I've been loving like just doing this look with no falsies. I'll leave all the details on this face down below in the description box so you guys can check the items out that I'm wearing on the skin. Now let's talk about the Kosas foundation. So look how gorgeous this looks. I am very impressed with this foundation. It gives such a beautiful finish. It looks like skin. It doesn't feel heavy whatsoever. It feels extremely, extremely lightweight, which I really love. I do have to say one thing about this. If you do have oily skin, you probably will want to set it with a powder after you're done applying all your makeup. That's what I did. I used my e.l.f. Halo powder right here just because this is what I used for my under eyes. I baked my under eye just because I always like to do that with the creasing under eye. But I just dusted it off in little areas where I get very oily, so pretty much just the T-zone, that's where I needed it. I think that if you do have oily skin, the best bet will be to set this once you're done. I'm gonna look into the Kosas setting powder that I mentioned, the talc-free one, because I do want to try it. I feel like it's fun to try setting powders, for me at least, because I do have oily skin, so I will try that and let you guys know. But besides that, it all looks great. And even when you do go in with powder on top with this foundation, it still looks gorgeous. It looks like skin. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. So I really do appreciate that from it. I do want to do one quick thing. I want to take a flash picture just because I want to kind of see how this does with the flash. Okay, so I feel like the flash isn't bad whatsoever. It looks really nice. It all kind of matches cohesively with the skin, which is really good, because sometimes I get a little bit worried about how the flash is gonna do, especially with SPF. Let me quickly touch it and see how it feels in the areas. It is a pinch bit sticky, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys right now. I really am loving it. I'm hoping that this will look beautiful for the entire day and it'll be long wearing. Right now it is 9:30 a.m. I'm gonna go ahead and start my day. You guys will see in natural lighting clip and also my final thoughts in the video. So please keep watching because you won't want to miss this. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 5 p.m. so I'm wearing this from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I'm ready to give you guys my final thoughts on the new Kosas foundation. So this foundation retails for $42 and look how this is looking. I am actually pretty impressed with the longevity of it. I really loved how it looked when I first applied it and I still love how it's looking now. And I also really like the fact that the foundation is still looking pretty good, especially in these areas where I do wear my mask. And the mask that I wear is my Skims masks, which tend to be a little bit tighter than just like a regular disposable mask. So I do find that this did pretty good with it. It didn't come off as much as I thought it would. So that's definitely a plus. I also do have to say that this foundation does pick up some dewiness. If you do have oily skin, you will notice that, especially around my T-zone area, that's where I'm kind of noticing the most dew. It's nothing too intense, but I just wanted to point that out there for anybody who does have oily skin, maybe looking into this foundation and wants to know how it does with oil. It does pick up a little bit of dew, but that's why I do recommend, like I said in the beginning, setting it with your favorite setting powder so that you can minimize that. And the good thing about this foundation is because it is so lightweight, the powder will sit really nicely on top of the foundation and it will not look cakey or heavy. It's a perfect everyday foundation in my opinion. I feel like it's perfect for everyday wear. I feel like with this foundation, if you want to build it up to more like super full coverage and like night out look, you can, because it is a nice buildable consistency, and you can build it up to that more like intense coverage. But I think for an everyday, it looks and feels really nice and it'll give you some really good results. So I do think that it's worth the money if you are looking to spend on a high-end foundation that is a clean brand, that contains a little bit of SPF, that just makes your skin look really healthy and pretty. I think you will like this. So if you've been on the hunt for this new Kosas foundation, I highly recommend. I feel like it's so beautiful, very lightweight and natural, and this color matches me perfectly. Like, it matches me so well. It didn't oxidize, it stayed true to tone, and I even liked how it looked in the flash picture and also in natural lighting. I was like, this is spot on. So really happy with this. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this review. Let me know your thoughts. Will you guys be picking up this new Kosas foundation or not? I'm really interested in knowing. I can't stop looking at my skin because I'm like, this actually looks really, really good. Like, really good. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys do enjoy watching these reviews, please give it a big thumbs up. Let's me know to continue doing these type of videos for you guys. I think that's all I have. So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.